The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Kathy Holtshouser,
Hi. Thanks
our
for having
paralegal
me.
extraordinaire. And we're going to get to this other guy in a second because we're just glad to have him. We have Kim Carpentier, who's a jack of all trades. We're not even going to say where he's working at this point.
Right.
You know, we're going to leave that. We're going to
leave that to suspicion.
We're going to leave that to suspicion.
Just call him.
But you have a proficient background in credit repair, mortgage originating. But before we get to you,
But hold on a second.
Whoa,
a lot of people.
Whoa! We're already off the rails.
No.
It's like
a lot of people are going to be interested in what you have to say, Kim, because
he's not going anywhere.
Right. Because in order to buy a house or refinance, you got to make sure that your credit score is up there, and then you can give them all the parameters of what they should be at and how you could get there. Right.
So we also say hi to a friend of ours before we ask Tony a story.
What friend?
Laura.
Do we have a friend?
We have one friend,
Oh,
Laura.
hi,
Say hello to
Laura Wilson. Are you napping? Are you awake, honey? We love you.
She takes time out of her very, very busy day to watch this on Facebook.
Yeah.
What does she do?
Yeah. She's an originator or a processor, like whatever. What do you want us to call you, Laura? She's very good at what she does at a mortgage company.
Nice.
And she always
North
comments
Reading.
about our show.
Nice to be good at what you do.
She's very, very
I
good at
wouldn't
what
know
she does.
about that, but it must be nice.
And she's become a very, very good friend of ours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hello, Laura.
She's been a good friend of mine for a long time.
I know, but now she's one of my BFFs.
Okay. So she takes her over.
Great.
Let's go back to Tony V.
Yes.
We are glad to see you today
because yesterday, and when I explain this to people, no one can feel the way I still might be in shock,
right?
But I almost got hit.
And this is
by
serious.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
mostly when you tell a story, it's a joke, and everyone's waiting for
a joke too.
Waiting for the punchline, but it's too soon for the joke.
No.
So Tony texted me yesterday. We'll get back to the story.
Yeah.
Texted me yesterday. He goes, "I can't make it tomorrow." I start laughing. Because I go, all right. Here comes a Kathy Holtshouser excuse.
No, you started the conversation by going, "How you doing?" And I go, "Not well." And then you started laughing.
He laughed at everything, though, by the way.
No, because I figured that was your segue for not showing up today.
But what happened was I came literally seconds and inches away from dying yesterday. A tree fell on my car, totaling it.
Not a little branch.
Not a branch, an entire tree.
In the windstorms.
In the windstorms of yesterday. And the ironic part of it is, I was at the ScrubaDub car wash.
I was just thinking about the ScrubaDub car wash.
But tell them when you went to the ScrubaDub.
I only went to the ScrubaDub because my wife made me go to the ScrubaDub.
Now it's all her fault.
She was with me.
Oh, okay.
And she came seconds away, too. I had already paid for the cleaning. That's the rub.
There's the rub.
That's the rub in the ScrubaDub.
What do you mean?
He got the car cleaned, and then the tree falls on it.
Did you get your money back?
No.
Did they give you 24 hours?
That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
go back there and see if they'll re-clean it.
I have nothing to clean now. A tree fell on my car.
Yeah, it's really not funny.
And it is a little funny now. I mean, look, if I die at a ScrubaDub anywhere, I want people laughing.
Kind of like going to outer space.
Because my wife found that, she goes, if you died, I would be forever going,
how did he die?
My husband died at a freak tree accident in a ScrubaDub. And that's funny. It's funny.
So the tree. So how big is the tree? Show us in like.
It's like I'm gonna say it's like a 150-year-old tree.
Yeah.
It was, probably 30 to 40 feet high.
And did you see it coming?
I heard it coming.
Okay.
So I get the car washed. It's in line to get vacuumed, right?
Okay.
And the guy who's going to vacuum my car calls me over. I was outside on a call. My wife was inside waiting for me. And he calls me over because he's about to vacuum my car, and he wants to show me that a piece of molding has come off, so not to blame them.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, sir,
blame him. He actually saved your life.
Right. He says, before, I start this, I want you to see this.
Oh, really?
and you just need a little super glue. And I go, fine. So I'm looking at the molding, and I hear run, and that's all I hear.
Someone saw it?
Someone saw it come and said run. In my head, I go other side of the car. That's all I remember thinking. And I went from where I was to the other side of my car, thinking, that the car would take most of the hit of whatever. I didn't even know what
you
it
were
was
running from, right?
I don't remember running. I don't think I've ever moved that fast in my life.
Good thing you lost all that weight.
Yeah, I probably have wind burns from running so fast. And then the tree came down, smashed my roof, broke my windshield, dented completely my hood, and then the tree fell 6 inches to my left and 6 inches to my right.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I was in the pocket of where there was no tree.
Wow.
Was your wife with you?
My wife was coming out to yell at me, and then saw the tree come for being on the phone so long and being me, basically.
Okay.
She's always find some reason to yell at me for being
Good
me.
girl.
It's either too many jackets.
It's a wife
It's
thing.
either too many jackets on the hook, the clothes.
I
are
went
in
to
the
a
way,
concert
I
with
think.
Tony once and with his family, and all I heard was his wife say to him, "Don't act like Tony tonight, all right?"
Don't be yourself, right?
She actually said, "If you take your shirt off one more time, I'm leaving."
And sure enough,
Off it comes.
off it comes. It wasn't even
So
in the
Tony,
encore.
show us the cars here.
So the car's here. The tree falls. The trunk of it. I have pictures. I don't know if we can put it up later on. I'll put it up on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
But the trunk of the tree, fell, and there was another car in front of me, and they took it too. And then the car fell like this. So this is one group of branches. This is one group of branches. The cup in the middle is me, and it went just like this.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I mean, it was like inches, and I'm still not doing it justice. Like,
you have pictures?
No, I
do
can
have
tell by the
pictures.
look on your face that you've been through a trauma.
I'm still
Get it on
freaked out.
Carter Law Office if we get Renee Carter or Tommy Flynn or one of those guys.
We'll
figure that
email it to Renee
Because now
or
people
Tommy,
are
and they can
curious
put
to see
it.
what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tony, did the tree make a sound?
Yeah, we were there. It wasn't in a forest.
It wasn't silent. Did it sound like thunder? Like that's how I imagine it to sound like.
Tell Ed Sullivan's a philosophy major.
It sounded like celery. You ever break celery?
Yeah.
And then snap.
So, did the tree just break or was the
From
whole
the roots?
from the roots and the whole thing just toppled
Who's
over?
the guy who yelled "run"?
It was one of the guys that worked there.
Was he horrified?
What?
After it all got done and no one got.
Like they had to close down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tree was in their lane to get into the.
The other thing, you and your wife don't drive around a lot together. I don't think I ever see you two driving.
And I had just gone to the Angel Memorial to drop off stuff for wayward animals.
That's what you get for being a nice person.
I'm changing, man.
Yeah,
it's all about me from now on.
Well, it's good to see you.
The winter doesn't come in first.
No. Most people will have an epiphany and say, "I'm going to live a better life." Nah. Fuck it, I'm going the other way.
You saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw my life.
But I thought you said you were giving it 10 years, and
Not
then you were just
anymore.
going to go
Not
nuts.
now.
All right, so today's the beginning of the turn for Tony.
Yeah, that timeline got sped up a lot when the tree
Gloves
fell
are
right
off.
within 6 inches of him.
Sure, the gloves are off.
So you're going to go back to being a pie-eating crazy
I'm
man.
going to gain 100 pounds. I'm going to start doing crack.
He's going to have all the North End guys over at the house for a card game.
Imagine seeing Tony V on crack.
I'm going to have a big bowl of edibles in the morning for breakfast from now on.
And just plop your face right in it.
Right.
I can picture that. So, Kim Carpentier, we got a lot of questions to ask.
All right, so
Too
it was
many
9
questions.
minutes and
It's
5 seconds.
I still want that website.
Oh
yeah.
Go fight yourself.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling
baby.
you, I don't know how we haven't.
I don't know why that's not on your resume, Tony.
Go FICO yourself.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
That was a good one.
It's not up there.
That made a good impression on you.
Oh, I tell you, I dream about it at night.
You would never forget that website.
The only one who didn't think it was funny, it was the guy I called at Network Solutions to see if I could get it in Tony's name. He said, what's the name of it? I go, well, go fuck yourself. He thought I was like,
smart ass.
So,
did you say it again?
I said, and silence again.
Did you think that's funny? He needs some prompting.
So, needless to say, it is probably still in our name there, but not for lack of effort. So, so that's a go. I think Tony had a good suggestion last week. We're talking about Matterport and 3D presentations for houses and sellers.
Yeah.
We're just going to put a GoPro on his head
Right.
and walk around the house.
Right.
Walk around the house.
Right.
Because in this, you can actually give commentary as opposed to the 3
We
door.
were running it by a real estate agent, and I don't remember who it was, but we're like, yeah, and then we'd put Tony's voice. Yeah, and here's the kitchen.
The kitchen.
And they're like, that's great.
You can do a lot of cooking in here.
That's a great idea.
Sure.
Tony plays a realtor in a. I know we're going to get to you in a second. Tony plays a realtor in a movie, and it's just how you'd expect Tony to be. Yeah. We got some IKEA parents sitting around.
They fill out
This house has a toilet.
You get the sofa in the parlor. Sofa in the parlor.
How do you think Tony would do?
Front room.
I'd like to put both these out there. She would be
For
like,
what?
yeah, she's very professional, and then you'd hear Mr.
The closer.
The devil on the other side.
You call him the closer.
Yeah.
Hey,
About
get over
that
here.
water in the basement. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I won't even go down
The
with those
basement.
words. Yeah.
The basement's just a little
Water
damp.
view.
Got a discharge problem?
You gotta
I got a discharge
Stop
problem.
it. Will you stop?
Sure, this property boasts a water view. Unfortunately, it's in the basement
The cellar.
and the cellar.
The cellar.
It's down the cellar.
You got a water view from
awesome.
all the windows. All the windows. You
Comes
can
with
see
an
this.
inflatable rack, so you can get to your furnace.
That's okay.
Okay.
Go.
Couple
Now,
of
ready.
Talk for a few minutes. I'm going to put my head on my
Then we'll come back.
Tony needs a little breather.
Yeah,
He needs a little breather.
break.
Yeah.
He's a little breather.
Yeah.
All right. So credit. You got a credit repair background. You have some mortgage originating background.
Yep.
Do people kind of soft sell that a little bit, or because most originators do not help buyers with their credit repair. They don't really know too much.
They don't. Well, let's put it changes consistently. All right. So
Yep.
credit in the way that FICO calculates a credit score changes continually.
Yeah.
So the rules of the old are not the rules of the new.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that could be the old could be determined like 1 year ago. You know,
they've actually changed
judgment
that much in
started
a year.
falling off
Yeah.
credit reports, and liens started falling off credit reports. So things are changing, you know, and the big fallacy was always, well, don't pay off a collection because if you pay off a collection, it re-ages the trade line, right? So it makes it negative as of today.
Right.
It's not so.
It's not.
A paid off collection is actually better than an unpaid collection.
All right, so if you pay it off, it doesn't show up in your credit report.
No, it's going to show up, but it's going to show up as a paid collection, which is better than an unpaid.
Not as adverse.
So put your originator hat on. If you see that, how much does that affect your?
Depending how old it is and what else. See, and that's the part that's confusing about credit. Is that you can have somebody with a skinny credit profile, you know, which would have maybe 3 trade lines on it. And you could have something with a more aged profile, which would have 50 trade lines on it, all good standing. Well, if this person has one credit card, the one with the skinny credit file that goes up to 100%, right? That's going to affect him more than the other person who has a card that goes up because he's got more longevity and more positive stuff on a credit report. That's why people say
they can almost income average. Or, you know,
I got a late payment. What's it cost me? I don't know.
Right.
You see a report, and I'll tell you what it's probably going to cost you.
Now, would you suggest that person who has maxed out one credit card to get that second credit card and put 50% on one, 50% on the other?
It always goes,
Spread it out.
the FICO score goes by percentage of utilization, for credit cards. So that if you have a $10,000 limit and you got $5,000 on it, you're 50% utilized. Right.
What if
so
you
if you have a $1,000 card and you have $500 on it, you're still 50% utilized.
Okay.
So
they go by the percentage.
But what about if you have a $10,000 credit line and you don't have a balance on it? I've heard.
That's fine.
Okay, because in the past I've heard that that's not good and you should close it out.
No, never, ever close a credit card.
Especially the older ones, right?
Because one thing credit card, and it's usually the first thing that you get when you're building credit is a credit card, it's the longevity of credit, right?
Okay.
So if you close out that card, all of a sudden you take away one of the cards that calculates your longevity of credit. And that's a positive on longevity. So all of a sudden your score could dip. A little bit.
So that's another good tip.
What if you were almost hit by a tree and don't care anymore?
Don't even pay your credit card.
Max out your cards. Don't pay them.
Don't pay them.
Don't worry about it.
Because it's obviously someone's coming to get me, right? You know, I mean, they're
don't let the IRS fool you.
Yeah.
You do not have to pay them.
Don't let those credit cards fool you.
Yep.
So any guests we're going to have on the next 4 or 5 months, every conversation is going to start with, what if you almost got hit by a tree?
I like it.
Yeah.
Is that ice cream any good?
What if you almost got hit by a tree?
I was almost hit by a tree.
Did I tell you?
I don't want that to define me.
It won't in a couple of months.
Remember I had chicken pox? I used that.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you know that comedian Tony V? You mean the one that was almost hit by a tree? Yeah, I know him. Was he funny? I don't know. He was almost hit by a tree, though.
He is funny.
His friend Rick Carter laughed all about that when he heard he almost got hit by a tree.
You know, he has a friend that had the chicken pox.
Oh, I had the chicken pox.
What year was that? 1990.
Like 90.
He still uses that.
I milked that.
He goes, that was the time I had the chicken pox.
Yeah. People were calling me to do their clothes, and I said, I got chicken pox. It was like 6 months later. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to go off the plan,
too
but
late.
It's too late.
we have a ton of millennials that have to work on getting credit.
Right.
So tell us how, give us a couple of tips for them.
All right. If you don't have any credit, and unfortunately a lot of millennials have bad credit because they have credit card, they have
Student
education
loans.
debt,
Yeah.
student loans.
No, they don't.
And they
Their
went,
parents
and they
do.
went, and they went
Not
bad.
Rick's kids.
And they went,
Kathy's kids do.
My kids have great credit.
right. And they went bad on. Well, they just can't make the payments. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other issue we can get to another time. But if they don't have any bad and they're looking to build credit, all right, they can get secured credit cards.
Yeah.
So they can go to a bank or go someplace, give them $500.
But you got to give them a little caveat to that.
Give them
You got to make the payments on it.
Right.
No, but it's their money, so you open it up with $500 or $1,000 of their own money, right?
Yeah, but what the misconception is they think that they give them the $500 and now they have $500 to spend. No. It's a real credit card, so they give you a credit card with $500. So if you spend $200 and your statement comes, you can't just not pay your bill and think the $500 you have there is going to pay the $200.
Right, because it's
a real credit card.
Yeah.
It's a real credit card.
So now you got to pay those back.
So you have to pay it back right away.
But if you pay that $200...
Now you're establishing credit.
And so
does that come off of the $500?
No, that's always sitting there.
That's your limit.
Right. No, the $500 sits in a bank account.
Right.
All right. So that's just insuring your credit
so
card.
if you don't make the payments, they're going to grab that $500.
Will your limit be $500 then?
Yes. Usually it goes with what you put in the bank.
Put in the bank.
So how long would it take to get a positive credit? Okay.
Immediately. So it when it reports. So and I always tell people if you're going to go with $500, never put any more than $50 in the credit card. Put $50.
Really?
Yeah, the statement comes. It should always be under 10%. 10% for the best score. Then the other trick, which a lot of people have done, is authorized users with your parents, right?
Like because a co-signing.
No, absolutely not. Wipe that word off.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. It's
we'll edit that out, Kim. Don't worry.
No. But that's what people think.
No,
that
you're right.
It's co-sign.
Right.
The co-sign affects the co-signer.
Exactly.
Whereas
authorized
this won't.
user does not.
Okay. So
but
there's a difference.
The beauty of authorized users is that as a parent, you can get your child a card on that credit card, right? So you get the card. Now the card comes to you, does not go to the child, comes to you. You take the card, you authorize it, you go to the gas station, buy $50 worth of gas, fill up your car, come home, cut it up, throw it away. Your good credit and the longevity of credit on that credit card.
Just by that one use?
By one use is going to bang that child's
interesting.
report. Now, you could get, like, if the parent had, let's say, a credit card that's been established for 22 years, and the kid's 18, he's actually has a credit file that's older than what he is.
That's good to know, because we have that. But I was told that she doesn't get the credit on.
Oh, no. Well, it all depends. Like, American Express is a little bit.
Well, I have a Capital One card.
Capital One will do it.
All right, so I'm going to pull her credit just to see how.
It should be reflective. Yeah. Now, the other fallacy is that you also have a deep credit file, right? So you have a lot of stuff on your file. She or he does not. Mm-hmm. So if you have, let's say, you have a credit card with $5,000 balance on it, and you put $2,500 a month on it, but you pay it off like clockwork, every time it's due. But when the credit card companies report, which is that statement close date, your child is always going to have a $2,500 balance on that $5,000.
Oh.
So all of a sudden the child's 50% utilized, the credit score is going to go down.
Because so it could work against you.
Right, but because he doesn't have a lot of credit. He's got a skinny credit file.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So that's why I always try to say to people, make sure that when your parents put you on a card, it's a card that they don't really use a lot.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yep. $1,000 limit's fine. You're just looking for that start date.
Yeah.
Right. To be prior to 1950. Right. You know what I mean? Just trying to get.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Now, how about this? Do credit cards companies in credit reporting actually see how much payments you're making? So if you have a $100 minimum, I was told if you're only making the minimum, it doesn't really help your credit that much, or it hurts it a little bit.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt by making a minimum, but usually people are making a minimum and they're maxed out in their credit card.
Right.
All right. So if they're maxed out, that's where their problem is.
So is there a way that they can gauge a client if they're only making the minimum? Does it affect them in that way then?
They're only going to look at what the utilization is. Okay. They don't care what they're making.
Get another credit card.
All right. If all of a sudden you're maxed out.
That's a myth. Okay.
Yeah,
so you shouldn't max out your credit cards, guys.
Ever.
Right.
Ever. Right. Just go get another card.
You know when Capital One says what's in your wallet? Do rewards,
5.
do rewards cards from casinos count for anything at all?
5 Capital One cards.
I saw.
All with
did you see the post on Facebook today?
No.
There's a wallet for females that has 36 inserts for credit cards.
What is that saying, Kim?
I don't know. That's what I'm just telling you what the post says. I don't know what I say.
Do they know Dave Ramsey?
Can you imagine 36 credit cards in one wallet?
Why would that be a fee? Is that politically correct?
I don't know. That's what it said in the ad. I'm not reading it.
I feel unsafe now. I feel I'm being discriminated against.
It's not fake news. I'm telling you. I saw it. It's on.
Kathy, tell them about the Capital One credit card I just got.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we love Capital One, so we're not slamming them. They have like a program, like if you take clients
which is
out.
perfect for us.
They're big sponsor.
Big sponsor. Oh, yeah.
We have millions.
We're doing an ad shortly.
You take clients out for dinner or lunch or whatnot, and Rick said I'd like an entertainment credit card. We just pay it off every month and whatever, and they give tons of rewards, rebates.
That's right up my alley. That's all we do.
So I go, Capital One will do it. So I get online, I put Richard M. Carter in, I put a social security number in, and I must have missed a digit. And within 3 minutes, he had a $10,000 credit card on our way to the office. I said, well, look at that.
It gets better.
I said, well, look at that. I said, I got $30,000.
I know.
How much do I pay you?
I felt a little slanted.
How much do I pay you?
I said, there's something wrong here, but that's okay.
So, I didn't know. Yeah. We just took $10,000. We weren't going to spend more than $10,000 in a month, right? So
she got hers before she applied for yours.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, with his social security.
She's an authorized signer of mine.
I am? Good. So then we were trying to set it up all online to make the payments and whatnot, and they kept saying, we can't find this account. And I'm like, oh, you already spent
I've already started spending
$800 on it already. I finally have to call. I go, your social security number is this, and he's like, yep. And couldn't get in. Finally call them, and they're like, we don't have that social security number on file. They were like, the digit was one digit off, and I don't know whether it was my fault or their fault or whatever.
But they gave me
they gave him $10,000 with not even the correct social security number.
Now, see,
I'm gonna try that.
Is that dangerous or what?
It's unbelievable.
Very dangerous.
Is that dangerous? Yeah. So someone could get your information.
Right.
They could go in and apply for a credit card, use a totally hoax social security number, and get a credit card delivered to an address that they're at in your name.
Now
that's identity theft.
Let's say you max that out, you spend the $10,000. They don't have your social security number. You don't pay it.
I don't know the recourse against me.
Whoever the social security number's for.
It's got to be somebody's social
security. It could be social security, but you know what? There's so many points of what am I looking for? Points to verify who it is. They'd come after you. Don't put don't.
But they literally approved me within 3 minutes.
We don't suggest doing that at home, guys.
No, I do. I want to see how it turns out.
Hey, after all, you almost got hit by a tree yesterday, didn't you?
I'm up for anything right now. Yeah.
All right, so
But let's talk about that for a second, the scams. But now the credit cards are smart. I said, I like Capital One because every time something gets charged, whether it's my daughter or me, it comes right over the screen on my phone, which doesn't go too far from me.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So I say, oh, she's still alive, or oh, what the heck is she spending money on?
I've literally taken the pump out of at the gas station.
And it's on.
It's already on my phone.
So
you've been charged $40.
If you get used to checking your bank statements or your bank online, and you get used to keeping an eye on your credit card, you'll be very well alerted if there's a problem with identity theft or whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, I have to wait till I get the Uber receipts from my daughter in New York. And then call and go, have your feet ever touched the ground?
Do you know what a bus is?
Does somebody carry you from the door to the Uber?
That's awesome.
Well, a friend of mine's son lost his phone in an Uber car.
Yeah.
And my friend can track the son, which is just amazing.
Right.
And he was wondering, he's going to Rosendale. He's going to Hyde Park. He goes, what is going on with this kid?
Right.
And he found out he had lost his phone. And so...
Ed, do you have a question, Ed?
Yeah, well, I do. I have a pet peeve with these credit card companies.
Let's hear it.
All right.
Well, often...
Don't kill the messenger.
Doing the right thing causes counterintuitive results.
Okay.
You're right.
I think I was just telling you that.
And I'm going to give you an example of that in a second, too.
And at one point I decided, okay, I've got this money over here, but I care more about my cash flow right now than this pile of money.
Yeah.
So I paid off my home equity loan and my car loan, and then my credit went down.
How much do you make here at the Studio 21 podcast?
Unlimited.
And
He's the best.
The fact that he said pile of money.
I know.
I was actually thinking that
Pile of money.
Wait a minute. You paid off your mortgage.
Yep.
You paid off your car.
Yep.
And your credit went down?
Yep.
There was nothing else.
Because you lost those trade lines.
Unless it was my second pet peeve, which is sometimes I charge a fair amount of money on a monthly basis, but I always pay the balance in full, but they don't take that into account.
No.
It's whenever
that's where, and that's why I said,
yeah,
the amount that they charge, they report to the credit bureaus at statement close date,
right,
is the amount you live with for 30 days.
Right.
Until they re-report.
So if you really care about, if you do that, pay it monthly, and you care about somebody pulling your credit and want to maximize, then you should make a payment in between.
You should make a payment 3 days prior to the statement
3
close
days.
date.
All right, how about this one?
That seems like good information.
It's very good information.
Now, let me
Thank you, Tony.
I'm surprised that there's good information today.
No, it's great. But let me ask you this. Is any of this subjective? I mean,
that's a good question.
Is it?
How much of a science is this?
How much is the science?
It's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm.
There's no
He wants to know what he can get away with.
Right.
It's all automated.
Right. Like I can't call him up and sweet talk him.
No.
This is Tony V.
You could try.
Nobody
you can
try, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? It's Tony V. Listen.
Weren't you the one
I was
who...
almost hit by a tree, so just hear me out before trying to buy a second home.
$1 million.
Can we use Rick Carter's social security number that he thinks he has?
Listen, hear me out. It's for my wife. I don't want her living with me.
You want it to be a surprise.
She doesn't know she's moving.
You know whatever's coming next after "Hear Me Out."
I love that. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Yeah. That's the but. You know what I mean?
You're right. Exactly.
You know how they say that?
Yeah.
In a sentence.
Yeah.
Everything before but is bullshit.
Right.
Hear me out.
Right. Hear me out.
You might think I'm annoying.
Hear me out.
Right.
But hear me out.
Okay. No, don't jump
You don't say but.
Let me finish.
No, all right. So,
all right.
I feel like this.
All right, let me ask you a question.
One more.
I got one more question. That's it. And then I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the week, actually.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
I got this one because this is really... I had this situation. Buyer within, it's like 5 days away from a closing. Gets two bills from, I won't say the name of it, but in case they're one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
A telephone company. It was literally like $49.
Okay.
Oh, Verizon?
Okay, you told them.
There goes another sponsor.
All right. So Verizon sends out a $49 bill. The girl pays it. Again, it's like, whatever, a week before the closing. Pays that $49 bill. They send a second bill out, and she says, no, I've already paid this. I'm disputing this $49. Her closing
went to a screeching halt.
For $49.
And because the word dispute showed up on the credit report.
For $49.
Right, because if the word, this is an old-time fallacy.
Okay.
But it's still active. When you dispute something, the first time that you dispute it, there's a code that's put on your credit report that says you're disputing it, and it actually takes the negative off of your credit report.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't exist.
Right.
All right. Now, if you go back and you redispute it, it substitutes a different code, so that negative now is included in your credit score.
That's because you're now a troublemaker.
Right. Yeah, right.
Or there's other words for that kind of person.
Right. But then what loan officers and underwriters don't understand those codes.
Okay.
So, but to play it safe, if they see the word dispute on a credit report, you're done.
But even if that customer's disputing, I mean, I could see if that company had issues with the client, you might say, we're not sure if we want to loan this troublemaker some money. Right. But this troublemaker is disputing it.
Because she paid it already.
Right. And the idea is that they're going to go, the underwriter's going by credit score.
Right.
So if
so what should someone do in that situation?
What she should do is call up the credit bureaus
and
say, or go to the closing. All right. She's still going to have a credit score that's going to be low.
Right.
I actually think it stopped her closing.
It did stop her closing.
But go to the underwriter. Go to the underwriter with the payoff.
Right.
I've paid this off, so I don't know why you guys, then they can rerun the credit report with it being paid off because she's showing proof.
So that underwriter has the ability to rerun that credit?
Yeah. Yeah, loan officers have the ability to do
and
that.
And then that will show up. How do they get to have it show up that it's no longer an issue?
We use an intermediary. All loans are written through an intermediary where they consolidate all the information.
Right. Okay.
Right? They have the right, if you can show them that thing was built, that was paid, they have the right to rerun the credit report with that being paid.
Okay.
All right, so we probably have like one more minute, and I get to ask the last question.
I do not have one more minute. I was giving my last question. I was allowed.
If you were going to give our listening audience 5 tips to avoid bad credit, just name them off. I'm sure they're obvious.
Most obvious, pay your bills on time.
Okay.
Second obvious, unless you get hit by a tree.
Right, number one was
number one should be don't get hit by a tree.
Right.
Well, that's number one.
All right, pay everything on time.
Number 2,
pay everything on time.
Watch your automatic payments.
That's a good point.
Because a lot of people make their mortgage payment on an automatic payment, and when they change the escrow amount, they will actually send the check back to you, and not let you know that you're late. All right, so now you're late.
That happens a lot on home equity loans, too.
And of course, you get the bill, and you say,
I already paid this.
And you ignore it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
a great tip. That's a great tip for our listeners.
You should go FICO yourself.
FICO yourself. And keep your credit card balances low when you're going to present yourself. Under 10% of the available limit.
So that means you can only spend $1,000 of that $10,000.
Yeah.
There goes that 10%.
Unless you're not looking for credit. You know, my mother's 93. She doesn't need credit.
Tell her to keep spending, lady.
Just spend, go crazy.
Yeah. All right, that was 3 or 4.
Okay.
What's the next one? Any more? One more tip.
Credit cards most important. Make your payments on time. Make sure the end of the lease gets satisfied properly with automobiles. I've been seeing that a lot lately.
That's a good one.
Where the dealership will take it and say, I'm going to pay it off. They pay it off. They do pay it off, but they pay it off late from the due date.
Yep.
All right. So if they pay it off late from the due date, bang, you get.
So what I've heard on those
end of lease.
There's a separate fee. All right, you owe still $100 doc prep fee or whatever it is.
So ask the questions.
Right.
And it's never really got paid off.
And if you do get that notice,
all
right,
pay attention because you're saying, well, the dealer is going to take care of it. Well, you don't know if the dealer is going to take care of it in time. So it's not a 30-day late payment.
And you got to keep those notices. So because if you're going to an underwriter, you got to it's explainable.
And you got to open your mail, right?
Right. We have a lot of short sale people
that just don't open their mail and they don't even know what they're looking. You know what they're looking at.
Kick it down the road. Don't look. Be surprised. Come on, life's short. You might get hit by a tree.
All right. With that, we might have to wrap it up.
Yay.
Life is short. Tim. You might get hit by a tree.
No problem.
That's my new philosophy.
And make your payments on time, people.
That's biggest.
Don't
That's
do
big.
it.
Credit cards.
A lot of information today.
Hey, I got more too. So if you want to go an hour, we can go an hour.
We got a lot of people pouring here.
We lose our audience after
the audience, the live audience.
We had Tony took a little nap during this. Paralegal extraordinaire Kathy Holtshouser. I could tell she wasn't up to par. She was starting to feed herself halfway during the show. And Tony V.
Happy to be alive.
Thanks for joining us. This is Attorney Rick Carter. Thanks for joining us at the Real Estate House Party. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was a good show.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.